this young man. His name is Emilio Nadelman. He is the kicker for the Miami Central Rockets. Like we said before, he is a former Doral Bronco. Emilio, how's the season going so far?
It's going good so far.
Yeah?
Yep.
Emilio, you got one state championship under your belt already. You guys came up a little bit short last year. Looking for a third one, second one?
We'll be at state again. I hope we win this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Emilio, what a lot of people don't know about you is when you were younger, you were a soccer player, you were a child prodigy to the point where AC Milan one summer took you all the way to their facility and you trained with them all summer long. How was that experience for you?
It was a good experience. I got to go to Europe,
Right.
learned a lot about Europe, and it was fun to play against other kids that I know. It was a good experience.
I've talked to your father about this this next question I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you now. Soccer being your first love, and now you play football. How hard was it for you to walk away from soccer? Because I know how hard it was for your dad to see you walk away from soccer, but how hard was it for you to walk away from soccer and to your new love, which is football?
I've been playing soccer all my life, so it was a big change, changing from soccer to football. There's more support in the USA with football scholarships, so I thought I should give it a shot.
Carlos, I tell you what, in 2008, we're playing on national television. Okay,
That's when he used to play with the Rob Broncos.
that's when we played with the Round. We're playing the Miami Garden Chargers in the championship game, and that's the game that we ended up playing without Timothy Irving because he was overweight or whatnot.
Right, that was in the Orange Bowl.
In that game, the young lady that worked for the TV station that she worked for, she asked Emilio, what do you like better, soccer or football? Emilio, flat out, I mean, some video because I still have it. Emilio said, soccer. Emilio, you're going to continue to play soccer or football? He said soccer. Here we are today, 2000 and what? 12? Emilio, what do you play?
Mr. Football.
We knew it was going to happen because Emilio is the perfect prototype NFL soccer player.
Absolutely. Listen, the first time we saw him kick, my son played a weight class above him, and I was just blown away with his leg. And the thing about your game that I love the most is, everybody likes the field goals. Everybody likes to see you kick the 50-yard field goals. You are just automatic on touchbacks. That is a weapon. It's field position all the way. You want to talk a little bit about how you pride yourself on hitting touchbacks on every kickoff?
Every kickoff, I try to start the other team from the 20.
Right.
I give my team good field position when I can, starting off the game. So my mindset on every kickoff is touchback.
Touchback. And last year you were 100% of them, am I correct?
I think maybe 3 that I didn't hit touchback.
This year you're 100% this year?
Yeah, this year so far.
Mr. Automatic on kickoffs. It's like having a 12th man on defense rolling.
But the funny thing is this, so sometimes when you see it, Carlos, you know, when you're watching a football game and then the defensive player smacks an offensive player, what do you hear the crowd? The crowd goes, ooh. He hits the ball, and when it goes through the uprights on the field goal out of a kickoff, you hear the crowd go, ooh. And I'm like, wow, it was a hit. No, it was a kicker.
Real funny story. We were set up in the end zone, and you know, for some reason, you know, it just didn't register that Emilio was kicking. And the first time he kicked it, the ball went up. All three of us scrambled for the camera, and I think it's either you or Fred that was able to catch the ball, because if not, I mean, neither would have taken the camera out. You know, that's a real funny story. What happened the other night at the game against Columbus. Emilio, real quick, you went to a kicking competition at the University of South Florida this year. There was a lot of kickers there from all over the country. You want to talk a little bit about that experience and what you got out of it?
When I first went to the camp, I didn't think there was as many kickers. And now that I see that there's a lot of more kickers than me, I mean, there's hundreds of kickers. And it was good to see other kickers. We're all doing the same thing, kicking away.
Right.
And it was just, I guess it was fun to kick against other kickers.
How many kickers were in total? I mean, I know that was over 100, but at the end, only 85, I think it was, that made it. Now, out of the 85 that made it to go to this final competition, let's talk about the size of those kickers? Because if I'm not mistaken, I heard there was 6'4", 6'2". There was these monster kickers kicking the ball.
Yeah, there was a lot of big kickers. Most of them at least 5'11" taller. They were big, like they worked out every day.
Right. So you were the smallest kicker in the group.
I was the smallest
The
one.
shortest one.
Did you
The
win?
shortest one.
Did you win the competition?
Yeah, I won first place.
There you go. So we didn't expect anything else. Rolly, you remember the camp? I think it was his first football camp he went to at the University of Miami, and there was some big time recruit there, and Sports Illustrated was there, and all of a sudden, Emilio started kicking, and Coach Coker went, "Who's that?" And he became the story of the camp. And he came out in Sports Illustrated. Remember that camp, Rolly?
I remember that camp very well because I was working at UM camp, and Emilio came over. He was 12 years old, and Emilio was kicking 45-yard field goals at warm up, just about.
Yes.
And then immediately, the thing is that when he kicks the ball, you hear an explosion.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
And then they looked and they saw this little guy there, and it was boom. And who's that kicking? Who does he play for? No, he's only 12 years old.
Right.
And that was it. From there was a mad scramble.
Yeah.
And so yes, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, everybody. It was a big thing that year with Emilio, being there. But I want to take you back into time, way back into time. I want to go back all the way to 2007. How did it feel to be picked to play in an All-Star game with Snoop Dogg and Trick Daddy?
I thought it was fun to play with. My coaches were going to be celebrities, so I thought it was something to look forward to. I was playing in the All-Star game, and obviously playing with other kids against going out of town and playing other kids. That was fun.
And playing kids from all walks of life, from all over the state and all over the country. And then to make matters, Carlos, how did the game end, Emilio? Please tell our crowd how the game ended.
We won. It was a very tight game, and then we won by a field goal. So
It was a winning field goal.
I mean, I kicked the field goal probably at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then the game was just tight from there.
Right.
So,
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question. I know you're graduating this year, but I know there's another Nadelman coming down the pipe. Your little brother, he's been kicking for probably a little bit longer than you started, a little bit earlier than you did. Is he as good as the original version?
he has a really strong leg on him.
Yeah.
So he's been looking.
Look at Dad smiling over there, man.
Hey, he's very good. But he's smiling because, of course, of the training, the strenuous training that he puts these kids from. And something you brought up, and Dad brought up, that he constantly says is, and again, I'm going to go back into time. We're going to go back to a national championship up in Daytona during the Thanksgiving weekend. The big USF TL type of football tournament that we went up there. And Emilio, again, very young, kicking the ball, Carlos, and you were there, from the sideline.
Yes, from the sideline. And we talked to his dad a little bit about it today, and I guess you kick from the sideline because it makes the goalpost smaller, so when you line up at the hash, it winds the goalpost up a little bit for you.
It's like a little accuracy tip.
Right.
So when you kick from the sideline, you see the field goal smaller.
Right.
And as soon as you get on the hash mark, it's like the field goal gets bigger.
Wow.
It's almost like putting, for the basketball players, when they put a tiny hoop,
Right.
so that way when they really shoot with the bigger hoop, it goes, through. You know what? A funny story. Back in 2010, and I'll go to the exact date. It was a Friday, August 27, 2010. There was an article that came out. In that article, it's funny because it's the first year that said that he went to Central.
Right.
Okay. There were several nicknames. Could you tell our audience some of the nicknames that you were labeled? Because I got them here. I want to see which ones you like the best. Just shoot some of those nicknames.
I had Golden Foot, Popeye Leg, Mighty Foot. I think that's it, probably.
Well, I'll tell you what. The way the article started, it said that you had this tiny, barely 15-year-old Hispanic kid that goes to Miami Central Rockets. Okay, the nickname was the Secret Weapon, Popeye Legs, Golden Foot, and the 5'6" Cannon. Remember that? 5'6" Cannon.
What a lot of people don't know is that the year before he went to Central, the Rockets lost a state championship because of a field goal, and that's a situation was taken care of. Emilio walked on campus, and Emilio, you also do the punting for the Rockets. You want to talk a little bit about how different of a kick it is from punting to field goals and kickoffs?
Kickoffs and field goals, probably the way you swing your leg, maybe.
Right.
It's totally different from a punt. And the way you stand and hold the ball on a punt
Right.
will tell you how far the punt will go or how high. It's a different, two different styles of kicking.
What do you like better, man?
Me personally, I like field goals and kickoffs the best.
Because you know what?
He can boom them.
You know what? When we beat Miami Gardens, he was the main reason why we beat Miami Gardens because this kid was punting 63-yard punts.
Field position, really.
That's all it was.
It's all about field position. Emilio, I know you got a lot of schools looking at you. You want to name a couple of them that have been ringing your phone off the hook?
USF, FIU, Auburn, Duke, and Alabama.
Yeah, I heard Mr. Saban is coming hard after you, huh? So, which one do you like the best?
Right now, it's between Alabama and USF.
And you know what's funny? And again, we do this show. We don't want to be biased.
Right.
Again, but I don't understand how we have so many good players here in South Florida, and again they're leaving because I don't know if the University of Miami is dropping the ball.
All I know is that the Hurricane kicker missed a couple of kicks this weekend, and we got the solution for you right here. So if you want to solve that problem, just give the show a call. I'll tell you where to go look, all right?
Well, you know what, Emilio, last year, again, in high school football, you barely see this. But, we had how many game-winning field goals did we have last year?
Last year, I must have like 4, probably 4.
Okay.